Welcome back to the Accessible Art History YouTube channel. This week, I'm bringing you another video in our Art History Controversy series. Last week, the Paris Olympics were opened in a spectacular fashion, but not without its fair share of controversy. Were the designers mocking the Last Supper and Christianity, or were they referencing the Olympics themselves? Keep watching to find out. The 2024 Olympics were particularly special to Paris because this year marks 100 years since the city last hosted the games. The city was abuzz with preparations, and there was a lot of anticipation in the air. However, everything has not been smooth sailing. From a river full of E. coli to an outbreak of bedbugs across the city, things for Paris were, well, rough. The opening ceremony was no exception. Traditionally a grand spectacle that showcases the host nation's culture and creativity became controversial the moment it aired. During the opening ceremonies, a group of performers that included dancers, drag queens, and a DJ created a scene that was reminiscent of Leonardo da Vinci's famous work, The Last Supper, to some people's eyes. The controversial scene was a part of Tableau 8, called Festivity. According to Thomas Jolly, the artistic director of this part, the segment was referencing the traditions of ancient Greece. Seems like a logical choice because this is where the original Olympics were held in antiquity. According to him, the blue man that came out from under a cloche was a direct reference to the god of wine, Dionysus. This was hardly a surprising move because 2024 article on Jolly showed that he was a lover of ancient Greek culture and was excited to incorporate those themes into the show. Almost immediately, the internet exploded at a perceived slight against Christianity. People were up in arms that drag performers were allegedly mocking Christ and his disciples. It seems that anyone and everyone were talking about the opening ceremony versus the amazing athletes that were set to compete. But is this true? That answer isn't so clear-cut. I can say with confidence the Olympics were not mocking any religion, Christian, pagan, or otherwise. According to the New York Times, Jolly states that his design was not meant to, quote, be subversive or shock people or mock people. Additionally, it seems preposterous that designers would risk the advertisement revenue for a few seconds of quote-unquote mockery. However, there's conflicting information on whether or not Da Vinci's Last Summer was the inspiration behind the tableau's composition. Initially, the answer was no, that in fact it was a reference to a painting called The Feast of the God by Jan Hermannsens van Bilger. Painted between 1635 and 1640, this work does bear resemblance to the opening ceremony. At first, it did seem like the question was answered, but now there are reports resurfacing that the Last Supper was in fact the inspiration. Because this controversy is only a week old, answers may continue to change. Now, I'm going to do something I don't do often on that channel, explain my personal thoughts surrounding this controversy. To be frank, I don't think it matters which painting was the inspiration for the tableau. What does matter is the idea of artistic expression and artistic freedom. The Last Supper has been parodied throughout pop culture for decades, especially since the advent of programs like Photoshop. I haven't heard nearly the amount of controversy around any of those images as I have about the Olympic opening ceremonies. Why is this moment in particular being accused of mockery? Why can you use images, even religious ones, to represent the freedom of expression? In my opinion, art is amazing because it allows you to feel things. At its heart, art is meant to be controversial. In conclusion, this latest art history controversy is one for the books. Thinks it serves as an important reminder that there's more than one perspective in this world and that all of them have the right to be heard and shown.